Hi, this is Louis Fomby, and I'm almost 60 years old, and I've had the best life ever. Full of the funniest shit you ever want to see. So, I've decided to write a movie, but I'm going to write it on this fucking YouTube so everybody can see it. I'm going to call it my way, or I'll probably go to hell for this shit. Or I'll probably go to hell. Haven't decided yet, but my way is usually how I've always done it. And I think I'm going to start it at the beginning. This is some stew. Now, I never did crawl. Ever. In my life. Never crawled. Always could walk. Which mystified everybody. Little motherfucker never crawled. I never crawled. Ever. How's that possible? I don't know. Didn't feel like crawling. Now, motherfucker knocked me down. Somebody had to help me back up. But I never did crawl because I ain't believe in that shit. Crawling's for bitches. But I was born in Fort McClellan, Alabama, which is right outside Anniston, Alabama. And inside of Anniston, where my aunt lived at, my aunt Velma, which we call Mud Deer. I believe she lives on 15th Street. I loved it. I loved her. Her house was fun to go to. Now the dynamic was, my mother and father were professionals. Father was in the military, and my mother was a teacher. And they were away from me all week long. So, and my aunt had to work, I assume. So, my grandmother's who I stayed with. And I learned everything of early life from my grandmother. I learned, and there's two major things. That the Bible and Jesus has to be with you no matter what. And the second thing I learned is if a motherfucker needs cussing out, you gotta cuss him. That's what I learned. This is 1957. I had no sisters. I was solo. Lived with my grandmother in Hobson City, Alabama. Now, Hobson City was a real small, all-black town. I mean, all black. Even the dogs was black, the houses was black, all the trees are black, the road was black. Everybody was black. I didn't see any white people ever. And so I thought, hey, this is kind of cool. Only white people I saw was Tarzan on the movies, and I guess he was like leading the natives in Africa to go do some shit. And I thought, that doesn't make any sense, but it was good entertainment. White guy telling black people what to do. Where's that? What reality is that? Right? Because I didn't see any. Oh, Dr. Judge. He was a doctor. We went to Oxford to see him. He gave me all my shots and all the lollipops. And I thought, well, okay, that's cool. I guess there was a reason why this fucker had to stick me in my ass or arm every time I saw him, or thigh. And I guess, well, that's his job. My grandmother thought it was cool, so I assumed that it was cool. So, we go back to Oxford. I think we either walk or catch a bus or cab or some shit. I don't really remember. I was too young. I do know I got a chair, and I still have this chair. I bought it at the grocery store where I first saw my aunt Rosella. For some reason, she was there. And this is one of my favorite aunts of all time. All time. Rojo. And I got this chair, and I still have this fucking chair. It's right here. I don't know when it was born, when it was made. Here it is right here. This is the chair. The chair. Chair's almost as old as I am. But we got the chair and took back home because my aunt, sis, was tired of me sitting on her bed fucking it up. Now, let me explain what I'm talking about. We had a TV as black and white. And I guess it was like a full size. I don't remember. But I love cowboy and Indians shows, TV shows. That's all they had. And so my grandmother got me the full gear. I was fucking G'd up. Hat, black hat, vest, cowboy shirt, cowboy pants, boots, spurs, and 2 guns and a rifle and a knife. And I was so happy because of what the Cowboys had. I didn't have a horse, but I didn't need a horse. I had 2 guns. Fuck I need a horse for? See a horse, I'd shoot it. As a matter of fact, with these 2 guns, and my cousin Dimple can verify this, I was the very first 2-year-old serial killer that's ever been. But nobody actually died because I had fake guns. So I would sit on the porch. My grandmother had a porch that kind of wrapped around the house in Hobson City. And everybody who would walk down the road got shot. Everybody. I would draw my gun and bust a cap in everybody's ass and tell them this town is not big enough for the both of us. So I'm on the porch in the shade, shooting everybody that walked down the street. You know, my name's Louis, but everybody call me Ivan. Because, you know, hey, little Ivan. Pow. Damn, what's wrong with that crazy ass little boy? What's the fuck wrong with him? Bye, Ivan. Pam. Didn't even say hi to people, just shot them motherfuckers. I said hi to the trash man. Because the trash man could whistle. But other than that, I just fucking shot everybody. I'd line up and I'd draw and I'd start shooting like this. Sometimes I'd trick shoot them with a mirror. They were like, what the fuck is wrong with that boy? He just shooting people and shit for no reason. That's what I did every day. And they thought it was a sign of some kind of mental retardation. No, they didn't, because I was bright. I could read and shit. Because my mother would come home on the weekend and we'd go to alphabet. I learned alphabet, and I loved that. And my grandmother would read stories from the Bible to me, which is how I learned how to curse. Because we sitting there, I had my cowboy and Indian shit on. Cowboy shit on, which had to be washed every day. Because that's all I wanted to wear. Every day was my cowboy shit. I didn't give a fuck. I wore my cowboy shit every single day. Period. That's what I wanted to wear. No changes. That's what I want. Cowboy hat. And I sit and watch cowboy shows. That's what I wanted to do. And so, my grandmother died, sitting on sister's bed. Oh, I had spurs too. And that's why I got the chair. Because I would spur the shit out of my aunt's bed, which was in the TV room, which was part of her bedroom. I mean, we were, I wouldn't say poor. But if we were poor, I didn't know it. Because I also something to eat. When you got something to eat, you don't feel poor. You don't feel like you ain't got no money. And I don't think we had a problem like that, because both my parents was working, and both had graduated from college. And this is 58, 59. So it was kind of cool. If we had a car, I don't remember. I think my aunt Velma had a car. I think she had a car. But yeah, so we'd sit and read the Bible on sister's bed, and I had spurs on. And they were real spurs too. It would fuck your bed up with it. You know, ching, 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 ching. This little spur, little round shit, spurry shit. Went like this. I had those in the metal. So I would fuck you up with my spurs. And my grandmother would sit and read the Bible and go, let's start from Genesis, baby. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. And that's it. They're listening to the stories of the Bible. And something would happen. Always. Somebody would knock on the door. Now, the knock on the door prompted a response from my grandmother. And the response was, who in the fuck is knocking on my door? Let me go find out. And she would shuffle on to the door. Because my grandmother had big hands and big feet. And I remember that shit, huge hands. She'd probably just knock a bitch right the fuck in the mouth and knock her out. Huge, huge hands. And she said, oh, hi, baby. Oh, you want to borrow some sugar? You know, back then, folks would borrow sugar. A cup of sugar. A cup of flour. Shit like that. Some salt. Butter. You know, they borrow shit like that. And eventually pay it back or not. I don't know the whole dynamic of the shit, but she'd get the cup and slide onto the kitchen. And they had big yellow pots in different sizes. I know they had flour, sugar, something else on it. Something, because everything was built from scratch. Everything was scratch. Built from scratch. Made from scratch. So she gives some sugar. There you go, tell your mama I said hi, as my grandmother would say. And she'd come back to me and whisper, begging ass, bumming ass. There was always ass on the end of something. Begging ass, ugly ass, stinking ass, broke ass. I always had an ass prefix on it. And so that's how I learned cursing and about the Bible every day. So that's what and that's just the start of it. We're gonna have the movie's gonna be pretty good, and that's the first. I guess it's the first chapter of me and my grandmother, my first memory. I had other ones where I had, I'll tell you about those another time. All right, bitches. Bye. This is Louis Fomby.